Aren't there like a million different definitions of self-care? Like, I feel like it became a buzzword a few years back. Of course, I do believe in self-care and I do believe it's important. I'm gonna show you how I use makeup as self-care and kind of tell you the story about how it started my self-care journey in respect to my appearance and caring about my appearance. It was huge. It was a really, really big deal when I found this makeup, and it just kind of became the catalyst for my self-care appearance routine regimen. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do my makeup while I chat with you, and I will share with you the products that I'm using. As always, for all of you that know or have been following me for a little while, I use my SEINT Makeup. This is my new compact, my newest compact. It's a triple decker, so I can get 3 different tiers of makeup. This is my cream and face makeup. This is my lips and cheeks and illuminators. And then these are my eyeshadows and all of that good stuff. As you can see, I've got a few just lovely, awesome things. Actually, this guy right here is just like this massive Klingon. I look from the side, it looks like I've got a Klingon lump. It's, for anybody that's watched Star Trek, guys, this is awesome. And then I've got a few like little in my eyebrows. I am doing this for my self-care today because I feel like makeup can be used for self-care, and like many things, just depending on what you need for that day. So I'm going to be using makeup as my catalyst or my spark for that. Starting with my eyebrows, I'm actually gonna go into this is a Trust eyeshadow right here, and then I've got an Oak eyeshadow. And then I'm using my line brush by SEINT. It's got the spoolie on one side and it's got the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. Anyway, it's got the other side that I'm gonna do my eyebrows with. So how I do my eyebrows, just to start out with, is I actually kind of just draw a fake line between this point and that point, because I want to connect them, but I want them to just look kind of seamless. So I'm going along my natural hairline. Well, natural as far as where I plucked natural. So I found this makeup a couple months after I'd had my 3rd baby. And so I had a 2-month-old at home, a 2-year-old at home, and a 4-year-old. So I had 3 babies, 4 and under. Also, I was battling mastitis, like for the 2nd time already. Mastitis isn't like a new thing for me. I've had mastitis with my other babies, but I was also recovering from a post-pregnancy surgery. So I had a few things on my plate, and I just felt really run down, felt really low, felt really unbeautiful. Okay, something was going on with my phone. I don't know what it was. Okay, before I go into the rest of my story, I wanted to show you how I do the inner part of my eyebrows. So I typically like to dip this side of my brush into my setting spray. I spray a little bit into the cap, and then I dip into my eyeshadow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make those hair-like strokes. Okay, I was struggling with my eyebrows, so I had to skip over them because there was cleaning up, there was messes, one side was thicker than the other. It was a mess, but I think we're okay now. I'm gonna let my skin settle from wiping it and redoing it. You always have a bad eyebrow and a good eyebrow, or one that just doesn't cooperate as well as the other, and this is my non-cooperative brow. It usually is just a struggle. I had my babies, I had my little guy, and I began looking for makeup because I also, on top of everything that was going on, I was breaking out. And again, it's happened before in one of my other pregnancies, but I just did not feel awesome, and I wanted to feel better. And I knew that it was important to feel better so that I didn't fall into postpartum, and because I really struggled with postpartum with my 2nd baby, and I just didn't want to do that again. I began searching for makeup that I liked because I had makeup. It was really expensive makeup that I had had for a little while from Sephora, but it just didn't feel beautiful on me. I didn't know how to do it. It was confusing. And I just, I didn't hate makeup. I was just disappointed, okay? Just really disappointed in makeup and disappointed that I couldn't figure it out. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using this is my olive contour. I play with different contours at different times just to see how I like them. And this is one that I'm using right now, and I like it pretty well. I think it does a pretty good job. Where was I at? I don't remember now. Yeah, so I'm online looking for makeup. Gosh, I find all these beautiful women in these beautiful makeup videos, and they're fantastic. They look fantastic by the end of it. They just do a really good job. But I mean, they're spending like an hour doing their makeup. So I've got my 2-month-old, I've got my 2-year-old, and I've got my 4-year-old. All right, I am now putting on my foundation highlight, which is my main color for like my jaw and beard area. And all I'm gonna do is just neutralize some of the melasma that I've got here, and I've got a little breakout on my chin that I'll go ahead and target. But right now, I'm just gonna focus on neutralizing the colors together, and then I'll go in and target these with a little bit more concealment. And what I'm using for my main highlight is Candlelit. I'm in kind of a neutral skin tone. So Candlelit is a really good one for a neutral skin tone that's a little bit lighter like mine. I am doing all this, and then I'm starting to search for different kinds of makeup to help cover my blemishes and to help me just feel more beautiful. That just seemed like the best route to do it. I wasn't able to exercise at the time, which is usually what I do for like my body and self-care, but I figured I needed to start focusing on my appearance. Yeah, honey. Okay, had to help a 3-year-old. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do my under eyes now. I have put foundation just in this area. I put a little brightener up here, but again, I'm gonna have to go in and target some of the little blemishes a little bit more, like right here, and I'll do that in a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and target my under eyes because I feel like I gained 5 extra years. No, that's not right. I feel like I am a little bit younger looking after I tackle my under eyes. So I'm on YouTube looking at all of these videos and these beautiful women and girls, and just thinking like, oh my gosh, they are amazing at this. I'm never gonna be able to do that. And I also had to think like, do I want to use all those products and get super savvy on all these makeup products and try to figure it out? So I tried. So I bought a bunch of the makeup recommendations. I bought a bunch of brushes, and they came, and I tried to follow some of the tutorials, and it was awful. I looked like a ghost. First of all, I had the wrong color. Second of all, I was trying too many different techniques and from different people, and it was just a mess. So I just kept looking. I probably spent over $300, which isn't very much for some people when it comes to makeup, but for me that was a lot. But I'd never spent that kind of money. You could tell I was desperate, right? I'm searching on YouTube and I type in simple, easy, beautiful, quick makeup or something like that. And this woman pops up, a woman that I haven't seen, and she looks like she's early 30s, and she's beautiful. She was this blonde lady, and I'm watching her do this, and she shows me this little compact, and it's got like 4 colors in it. She's like, I'm gonna do my whole face with this. I'm like, really? I'm like, well, I've watched women use like tons and tons and tons of product, and it was a lot more than 4 colors, but I'm like, let's see what she's got. So she's adorable, she's cute, she's just real, and she does her makeup, and she does it quickly, and she does it with these 4 colors, and it looks amazing. Now, of course, good lighting on cameras is important and things like that, but she didn't have good lighting, guys. Like, you could tell like she was in a window and part of her face was shadowed, but the makeup just looked incredible. I was just like, what? And how she showed how to do this makeup was just like, it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was this paint by numbers way, ta-da, like what I'm doing. I was just like, what, could it be this easy? Could this be real? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot, you know? If it's not real, well, I've already spent hundreds of dollars, so we'll just give it a shot. I went and got a palette. I picked out my own colors. She actually recommended asking her for a color match, but there was no way I was gonna ask a stranger to pick colors out for me over a makeup-free selfie, and I looked terrible, and I was just very insecure, so I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna go in and pinpoint some of those blemishes with that foundation highlight. It's a little bit darker than my natural tone, which is perfect for blemishes because look, voila, it just makes them just disappear. I put the tiniest bit of makeup onto them, and I'll look in the mirror here in just a second and make sure I don't have any excess, because on camera is kind of deceiving. You can look really good on camera, guys, and then you look in person and it's kind of a mess close up. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of powder on that blemish because it is a fresh blemish, and I don't know if you guys have seen my blemish video, but if you have a fresh blemish and it is not, the makeup is not sticking to it, then make sure you put some like setting powder or something to kind of dry that blemish out. So I'm just putting some setting powder on here before, and then I'm going to go back with that color because it is not covering up very well. Does better. Much better. And I'm using a different brush because I want to pinpoint those a little bit more. I felt like a broad brush was just not doing it. It was okay for this one and that one. I've got a lot of light going on here. Again, if you've seen my under eye videos, I do not want that. It is not excess makeup. It is actually the reflection of the light on my under eyes because of the oils in my skin, which is awesome. We want our under eyes to look light and bright, but when you're prone to eye bags like me, you don't want anything reflecting. It doesn't look good. I'm gonna go ahead and set now. It just takes that down a lot and just keeps it bright but not shiny. Don't want shiny under eyes with eye bags, guys. Trust me, you don't. I'm gonna go ahead and put some color back into my face. I have a little bit of the contour, but I need to put some bronzer and some blush. I'm watching this lady, and again, it's beautiful. I get the makeup, I order my own colors, I order my own palette. I think I spent like 70 something, and I bought a brush. I brought a brush that she recommended. I got it, and I put the makeup on, and I fell in love. Like, it wasn't until like a year and a half later I realized that my color, my foundation color, was like 4 shades too light. No, not 4. What was it? 3 shades. 3 shades too light for what I was doing. But it was so much better than any makeup that I had ever tried before that. Like, I'm talking about 20 years worth of makeup, guys. Or maybe at that point it was more like, gosh, when would that have been? I don't know, like 17 years worth of makeup. And I've never been a makeup guru, but I've gone through different products, tons of different products, cream products, foundation or liquid products, and powder products, and never quite stuck. It was something I fell in love with because of its ease and simplicity at the time, and it's still something I am in love with. Now I have a little bit more time if I want to play with the makeup like I am today. This is a self-care makeup day for me, so I'm going to spend more time. That's why this video is a lot longer, because I am taking my time and I am enjoying this as a self-care routine. Not so much as get my makeup done, get out the door. This is like, I am spending time doing this because I want to feel more beautiful. I want to feel brighter. I want to feel lighter. I want to feel more like me. Because sometimes when you look in the mirror, you just don't feel like you. You're like, hey, I feel different than that person that's looking back at me. I feel younger, I feel lighter, I feel brighter, and then I look in the mirror and it's like, ooh, like my skin looks a little dingy, or I've got all these blemishes, or I've got eye bags galore, you know. I'm gonna go in and prime my eyes with that same color that I have underneath my eyes, my eye brightener. I'm gonna prime my eyes with that too. Now, because I primed with that cream highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and set with some setting powder, just so that that eyeshadow will just slide and gloss right over on my eyelid, and there will be no hang-ups. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little Bubba. I'm gonna keep it pretty neutral today. I'm not gonna do anything glam or anything. I'm just gonna go in and just put some shadowing, some contouring of the eyes, if you will, just to give it more depth with my eyes, because I've got that hood, as we just talked about, and I want to create more shadowing on that hood. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of that oak that I showed you guys earlier for like I do on my eyebrows, and I'm just going to pop that right underneath the Bubba, just to have a little peekaboo. Blend this edge out a little bit more, and then I'm going to be done with my eyeshadow for today. And then I'm going to clean up this side right here. I am going to take a little bit of that darker color underneath my eyes, just here on the outer edge, just to tie that under eye in. That is my makeup for self-care, guys. It is just, it's a slower process, but it's a process that's just about me, about just kind of bringing how I feel out. And that's kind of how, when I'm using makeup as self-care, it's to bring out how I feel on the outside, because sometimes the outside doesn't reflect actually how I feel on the inside. So it's a very cathartic, I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's very like, I don't know, I just feel better. I feel more vibrant. I feel more alive. I feel like I'm ready to go take on the day. And when I found this makeup, that was exactly what I was looking for, but I needed it to be fast. I needed it to be simple. Something that was easier to understand than trying to figure out all these different products. I had one compact. It was all right there. I just had to put it in the right places on my face, and then that was it. So that is my makeup for self-care. I would love to know if you guys use makeup as your self-care, or what you actually use for your self-care and your appearance. I would love to know that. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks, guys, for watching. Bye.